at 6.
All right, I have 6:30. I'm gonna call to order the Board of Aldermen special meeting for Thursday, July 27th, 2023. Roll call, please.
Alderman Hudson,
Present.
Alderman Deckard,
Present.
Alderman Rogers,
Present.
Alderman Magley.
Yeah.
All right, we have a quorum. If everybody would please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, very nice. That moves us to comments from citizens. Seeing I have no citizens in town, it's been noted that Alderman Magley has had some complaints of noise and so forth over off of is that Columbia Street, right? And that got investigated today, and noise, yeah, having a generator running in a house that doesn't have electricity, some things like that. So it's been an ongoing problematic situation. We addressed it today. We were out there just to let everybody know, and then we're taking action to move forward with whatever's needed to remedy the issues over at the location. We have to look into what we can and can't do by our ordinances, and might be a learning thing. We might want to look at adding ordinances for future potential opportunities, that come up. So that's all we had from citizens that I had from at large that you'd ask me about. Landon, anybody else have anything from anybody at large? Okay. All right. We'll move on then to 5, legal action, contract with Arkansas Electric. I will for a motion for us to agree to that contract. Write it down.
There were some highlights on here. Was that just left over from them as a note or something? Or was I trying to call anything out? Article 11. Under force majeure. It's highlighted, so I just...
Do you know anything about that? Why that's
I haven't seen
highlighted?
it.
So this is the new supplier of transformers, is that correct?
They've supplied us our transformers in the past. We had looked at
Oh, yeah.
a contract last year, but
That's generic contract language for
Yeah.
force majeures. Maybe they were just saying, hey, make sure you're aware this is in
Yeah,
there.
because this,
But-
and I don't, she can explain it, but the contract that we're doing, so I think we've had some miscommunication between past employees and the rep, but Austin has been working with our guy who's in our area, and we have the capability now, and it may have just changed, we don't know, but this ordering schedule, we have the capability of ordering in January of '24 and receiving those. So,
originally we thought we wouldn't get them until the end of '24, now
Correct.
we'll get them towards the beginning.
Yeah.
So like the 25 kilovolts, is that what it takes for a house?
That's your residential,
That's
yeah.
a residential?
Yeah.
That's the green box, right?
Correct. That's the pad mount, green box. Depending on the size of the house, you can run up to 4 homes off of that, depending on the square footage of the house.
Okay. What are the 2 larger ones?
So the 2 larger ones are, we have 2 on lot, so that's just redundancy that we have 1 backup of those
Okay.
each.
Right.
So,
And we had budgeted for, when I had worked with Matt Fadler and Matt during the budgeting process, we had figured about approximately $160,000 that we were gonna need in the 2024-25 budget year for transformers. So we had actually budgeted for half of those this year to kind of build up a buffer for the following year. So we do have this money in the budget this year for these to pay for them, and for receiving them early, so that was good.
yeah,
Lead times are starting to come down in the market, but not significantly yet, and probably won't be significant reductions for at least another 6 months or more.
So
From what I'm hearing.
the numbers that we got for these KVA is $2,800 a piece for the 25 KVA.
they were originally projected, I think, closer to 4,500.
Yeah.
So that's good news. Maybe that we're seeing a little bit of relief. But
Good news for us.
We're excited. Yeah.
yes,
For the city of Central.
that's right.
move we approve the contract with Arkansas Electric to buy the pad mount switches.
So,
First and second to end the contract or sign the contract for the pad mounted electric units, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, passes. So that's done. That moves us to someone other to ask someone to read us in closed session.
I move that we go into a closed session. During the meeting, the Board of Aldermen may elect to go into closed session and hold a closed vote, and the purpose of such closed session and closed vote shall be as provided for under section 6100213 of the revised statutes of Missouri for hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting of particular employees by a public governmental body.
All right. Roll call, please.
Second.
First, second, yep, there you go. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Hudson,
Yes.
Alderman Deckard,
yes.
Alderman Rogers,
Or.
Alderman Magley.
Yes.
Okay, we're in closed session. We'll shut All right, we're back in, open session. During the closed session, there's a vote, taken on personnel issue, and, it passed unanimously. And that was all that went on in there, and we voted to come back into open session. So that's what we're in. That moves us now to, any as may arise.
You do have one item, well, two items for as may arise, kind of both a little bit the same thing. We were awarded $400,000 in Boone County ARPA money for the sewer main lining. Um,
Actually, one of the bigger awards.
for a municipality. And then also I found out today that, you remember the lead service lining, all of that, and we had applied to DNR for funding from DNR. We were awarded $102,000 in grant, and then the remaining of that $500,000 would be a loan. So, it's at low interest, but we would have to work with our bond people to see if we can even do that, or else we'd have to pay for it on our own. The only other option is to utilize our own crews to do the lead service lining inventory, because we cannot use DNR's money to pay our own people. We have to hire somebody to use DNR's money. But I don't know that Aaron and his crew have enough time to do the inventory by October 24 on their own.
What's involved to do those inspections?
4 locations, 2 on the city side, 2 on the customer side. So basically at your cork stop, the main, in front of the city side of the jar, in front of the customer side of the jar, and up by the house.
For every house in town.
For a percentage. It is not
What
every
is that
house.
percentage, you know?
I think it was, is it 15 or 10? I think
It's
it's,
20.
well, the thing they sent out to us gave us a percent, but then the total and the example they gave to us did not calculate out to that percent.
Correct.
So I think, I wanna say it may be 20, it may be 15.
But it's not, well, that's.
It's not every service.
Well, that's-
Not 100.
So basically.
I thought it was every service, no.
No, so if you have knowledge of what your main is and what, like, we know what our services are. We've on like the newer subdivisions, we're C900 plastic with copper, so we know that. So we can put that down. And on your new houses, we know that they're running poly, so we can put that down. So we just have to find neighborhoods that are older that nobody has knowledge of what's in the ground. My issue with our guys doing it is up by the house. I think it becomes a huge liability if we have to do something up 2 foot from somebody's foundation and we don't backfill properly and somebody falls in a hole.
Well, foundation, something happens.
Yeah,
they say,
yeah, I mean,
So we're gonna have to dig to do this?
Yeah.
we have the vac truck, which is an awesome thing that we can utilize to minimize digging up somebody's yard. So we have that capability if we have to. But otherwise, depending on weather, you're not getting that truck in somebody's yard. So then we'll have to dig it. I think that they're gonna maybe pump the brakes a little bit here. I would say there's gonna be some pushback
What's gonna
as
be-
we get closer.
Yeah, I mean, there's,
Yeah, they're gonna be, I'd say there's gonna be a lot of pushback.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
well, I mean, then you get in, I mean, that's a whole new can of worms too. If I own a home and I'm living in it and I'm drinking out of the water garden hose, it's none of your business is what we're gonna be told by a lot of people, what I'm drinking out of, what's in my house. You're telling me it's unsafe for me. I know a cigarette's not safe for me, but I'm still smoking. I mean, so I don't know, you get into personal liberties and stuff, and you start talking about so much problem.
and the initial ruling is if you do find, materials such as lead and even galvanized, which this town, there's a lot of old homes with galvanized, that immediately it has to be replaced.
And that's the cost of the homeowners?
That hasn't been decided yet. The conference I went to is DNR is looking at the option of funding for homeowners, except the municipality will have to have a payment plan available for them to pay on. So then the ladies in the office are gonna have,
So that money
to
would,
calculate
so they
that.
would pay for it and it would go back to the DNR?
so DNR will give you the money up front, or give the city money up front, and then it would loan it out to the customer, and then you have to put them on a payment plan and let them
What a
pay
pain.
with, yeah.
So they gotta pay for
Yeah.
it eventually, the customer's gonna pay for it
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
You're either gonna
That's
pay
cool.
for it, or you're gonna pay taxes to pay for it.
Right, that's cool.
Or you're gonna pay for it and pay taxes.
It'd be a headache for us.
There'll be a lot of
We got a lot of
money.
paperwork, if they skip town, you can't get the money.
That's
What if
why
they
you
don't
pay
fix
for
it?
it and pay taxes to pay
Nothing's
for
been
it.
said
Everyone
yet.
else.
So if you find it, you're probably have to wait, you're gonna put a new line
From the meter to the house.
From the meter to the house.
Correct. What you find, and so what we raised a question on is, what about through the crawl spaces and underneath these old houses that, what happens there? And they said, well, they're looking at by 2023, all that will be phased out also.
23.
Sorry,
33.
33.
So I'm gonna say, we gotta get going here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mess. I would imagine that there'll be some breaks put up here.
Is anybody doing it yet?
The
Yes.
city of Mexico started.
How's that going, I wonder?
They hired a contractor to pothole their stuff, but there hasn't been really a hard guideline of what we actually.
I think it's pretty, it's all ever changing and ever evolving,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I don't think you jump on board and get too crazy, you don't put yourself in a bind time-wise, but we wait to see how this plays out, because once they have a couple of class action lawsuits by citizens of the
It'll
town,
end.
here and there, that'll pump the brakes, I
Yeah.
guarantee you at some point, so I mean,
Yeah, cause you're gonna have a lot of people say,
you're gonna have people get
I
together,
paid
drink
for
coffee
this.
at their little coffee
Yours is
shop.
on
and all
the-
that.
yeah, well, I mean,
I
you
think-
think about people's landscaping up next to their house.
No,
I mean, it's gonna turn into.
So I think they'll get
Water
educated
meter
to-
to the house.
So, you know, I mean, I think it's something that's, we gotta be, it's on the horizon, we've gotta do it, but to what form or fashion, they haven't really got a hard and fast, final.
And once you do it, you're
how
responsible.
much you think we
for it.
got in town?
Lead and galvanized? 40%. There's a lot of older homes with galvanized. I would say lead wise, we test every 3 years with DNR, we take samples for lead, and we're always way under the limit. So we don't,
Galvanized probably
On the
80%,
wastewater, on the
right?
wastewater side,
no, drinking water.
on the drinking.
This is drinking water,
This is
yeah.
to protect you from getting lead or from
Yeah, so
galvanized.
they
flaking off the rust.
have implemented a lead and copper test for years now. It's every 3 years. We take samples, the homeowner pulls them, we send them to DNR. Everything has always came back
What about
okay.
businesses?
They're included.
It's gonna be done.
Yeah, they're included.
The city's included, all
Yeah,
our stuff's got.
yeah,
to be
any-
accounted for.
Any water line, no matter if you're inside city limits, if you have
Now,
galvanized
the
line
county-
running
the county-
3 miles to a cattle water,
Yeah.
and they know about it, you have to replace it.
It's out in the county.
And
It's
even
every-
like.
It's every household in the US.
Yeah, if you purchase your water from a water district and they come up with, lead upstream, they provide you water, well, you have a galvanized line in your system, even though your water is just being shipped over, they have to replace their stuff in their town.
It's gonna get ugly.
Yeah,
It's gonna become way too big a paycheck to check. can't it?
Yeah, they're gonna see the financial part of it, and they're gonna go,
I believe that
maybe
they
we
go
go
common sense.
2083 instead
Some
of
sort of
45.
spot regulating.
Do we have a deadline on whether to accept that money or loan or not?
It's still in a comment period to accept the, no, I forgot the name of it. So it'll be probably September when they officially notify us that we got it. So we've got some time. I'm gonna get more information on what we need to look at, but, unless we wanna cover it ourselves, if we were to take this loan, that's a bond issue, we'd have to put it on a ballot and get it passed by our citizens.
I think we came up with possibly, let me see, 40.
What year was lead mandated not to be used in, 82?
I think the federal law was 79.
It
Was when
was.
federal
It
law
was.
mandated it.
Any houses,
So the real potential was the ones before that.
Yeah.
anything,
There's a lot of houses down.
Which there's a lot of.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So at 20%,
But the ones after.
we're
that.
looking at 520 homes
in businesses.
and businesses. 520 services.
which is 2,000, that's 2,000 locate, or checks, spot checks.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of work, the
And
15%,
so-
think about if they had to get 60.
I think, was it your mom that came down, we were discussing kind of what they were looking at. I think the low end, what they were seeing contractors charge was low end 200 per meter, or per service. So you're looking at 104,000 low end.
And that's if we can get a contractor versus an engineer. If we end up with an engineer, it
Yeah.
costs quite a bit
We
more.
don't, yeah. Just digging holes.
So more to come.
Yeah, we'll
Yes.
have some more discussion on that.
We'll keep you in the loop.
Aaron is working on our, so they have really strict guidelines on what all has to be recorded, depth, everything. So he's getting all that rounded up. And
Well, this new high-performance slaker we're getting here someday will take care of all the problems.
you know,
No,
no.
if only.
Although when we picked up the fire truck today, they did ask how our water was because it ate the cap out of the side of the fire truck. Yeah, I did.
Anything else?
Anything else
I
in
make a
there,
motion,
Alex?
we adjourn.
Have a motion, do I have a second to adjourn?
Second.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion.
I was second ahead just thinking about it.
Yeah, we have a first and second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, we stand adjourned, thank you for your time.